Bam and Dannii, thank you so much for joining me on Misunderstood. It is such a pleasure and an honor to have you guys here.
Thank you.
So we are all in town. Well, I live here, but we are in town for the bare knuckle fighting championship. We were all there last night. What did you guys think of it?
It was phenomenal because
Wasn't it amazing?
I don't like pads. I never liked it during skating. You know, even if there's the best skate park here in Boca and you have to wear pads, ain't going to it. So when I found out about bare knuckle boxing, I was like, I'm going. And we got front row seats.
Yep.
And they said, you know, you're in the splatter zone. I'm like, what does that mean? It means that you might get bloodshed. I'm like, let's go. And there was. It is the real deal. And I actually, you know, I've wanted to do this because I've realized that when I had to stop skating, I love getting beaten up. I love getting knocked out. It makes my adrenaline flow like I was landing a skate trick again. So I'm in an all-win situation. If I beat you up, yay. If you beat me up, double yay.
You were in an all-win situation last night when you had two hot dates. So
very true.
That was Rachel and I's first date, holding on to each other while they beat each other.
Yeah,
so.
we couldn't look at all. We were like, oh my God, holding on to the little chickens. And
well, just so you know, they're loving every minute of it. They go home feeling like they were in a war, and if they love to fight, whether they win or lose, they're going home happy.
Yeah. I love that you felt like I felt. Like I was like, I feel bad for them.
I know. We were feeling bad for them, but they looked like they were very happy. What I found very interesting is you were like the most famous person in the room. And I thought that was actually really cool. I was shocked at your star power. I mean, not that I didn't know what it was, but people were obsessed. Every man in there had a crush on you, first of all. And then I was actually really touched to see these men who look like they've just gotten out of prison. They're so scary and tough, coming up to you and wanting to connect with you by sharing a story about how they know you, how they remember you, what you meant to them.
Yeah.
And, you know, at the end of the night, that one guy that came up to you and was like, hey, Bam, we almost lost you. I'm so happy you're here. Kind of almost brought me to tears. I was like, wow. And how does that make you feel?
It feels great to know that people care. But when I was that bad, I didn't know I was that bad. Now I look at it back, I was like, I was on the brink of death. I really was.
Yeah.
I woke up 8 days on life support with a tube down my throat because I couldn't breathe on my own from 5 20-minute seizures in a row. Never had a seizure in my life until I was 44. I was on 18 different medications and staying up for about 3 days on alcohol, and cocaine didn't help either. But that was when I, you know, considered that's when you hit a rock bottom. It's hard for somebody. When you think of rock bottom, you think of being homeless on the street with no friends. Your family told you to go kick rocks and you have nowhere to go. Well, that's not my case. So, you know, rock bottom for me was waking up 8 days. I woke up, I thought I was there for 20 minutes. I'm like, what happened? They're like, you've been here for 8 days.
Wow.
And we just ripped a tube down your throat. I'm like, is that why I feel like I sucked on Darth Vader's dick? It's like sandpaper throat.
Oh my gosh. So how long have you been sober at this point?
So August 1st is when, although I had a moment, we had our first fight in Scotland. Because
we've had some moments, you know, I mean, it's not like I'm going to just step in as the missus here. I mean, it hasn't been rainbows, but the perspective of the others on the outside don't know. And there hasn't been anything crazy. Everyone knows Bam, so I don't need to say anything. Right. However, there hasn't been anything that needs to be like of a concern.
Yeah.
There's just hiccups,
right?
You know, and I think that that's something he needs to just let the world know of, because they see him and they love him. Trolls are trolls, but the real people that care want to know his story. So
what's different this time? Why is it going to work this time?
Well, because every time I went to treatment before, it was a sabotage situation. Hey, Bam, all your friends and family want to take you to your favorite restaurant. Ruth Chris, do you want to go? It's your birthday. Yeah, I'd love to go. And then it's just a table full of people like, it's not a dinner at Ruth Chris. We want to send you to... I'm like, you sons of bitches. So I go there, take hundreds of classes about how alcohol's not good and it's pretty bad, only to know, so Bam, when you get out, what are you going to do? I'm going to sip on a White Claw because F all y'all. Right. That's why. But when I met her,
meaning because it was their time that they wanted you to get clean.
Yeah,
and sober.
like
it wasn't
if you don't want
time.
yourself to get clean, it's not going to work. Just because your mom or dad wants you to, no, it's not going to work. Right. You have to want it.
Right.
But she gave me the ultimate ultimatum: her poussoir or the vodka. I'm like, shit, I really like vodka, but I'm going to go with the first option, and I'm happy with my decision.
And I will say to the world that I can back this up: there has been zero vodka since August, and I want that to be very clear out there that there has been zero vodka and zero drugs.
What was your drug or drink of choice?
Or liquor, I should say.
Well, I had a prescription for Adderall for about 13 years. And then when I would drink on it, I would eat them like Skittles.
Wow.
And then after that, anybody that would offer me anything at a nightclub, I'd probably say yeah, unless it's crack or heroin.
Right.
But I mean, but
I want to like tune in though, like when we first met, we'll get into all that. But there was, when we were at the Rainbow Room, the waiter comes over. And as a bartender here in this town, I was tipped things, as we know, slide a napkin, whatever, to see what your style is. I mean, it was like our first date at the Rainbow Room, noon, pizza, and they were trying to give him stuff at the table.
Wow.
Okay, like the waiter was like, hey, Bam, come here. So when you're in that position, I mean, I'm not an innocent
it was
person
actually a
over
lope
here.
dog. It wasn't a waiter.
Whatever it was at
But
the
meaning
table.
that there are people that
It's
just want to
everywhere.
enable you because
And
they want to
part
be
of
your
it.
friend. They want to be a part
Totally.
of the story, whatever it is.
And if you're not a skater or a good musician that I want to work with, then our only connection would be being a drinking buddy or
Exactly.
sharing a moment in the bathroom, do a little snooty snout.
Right.
While we're getting pizza.
Right. So it seems like you found a purpose, though, in finding a new life.
Yes.
And now we have Dannii. So,
I knew things had to change, or else I wouldn't be around much longer. Like I was pulling all day awake for 3 days straight, and then I would sleep for 2,
Right.
and then I would feel like such crap that I would know that this hair of a dog situation, waking up knowing that you're so ill from alcohol, if I have a beer, I'm going to feel better. If I have another one, I'm going to feel even better. And then if I have another one, I'm going to feel great. And then so on and so forth. By midnight, I'm blacked out again, only to do it over and over again. It's a terrible situation to be in.
Yeah.
But when you get out of that, it's like dreadful to go to the gym when you're hungover, but when you're on day number 7 and you commit, you're looking forward to it now.
right.
So
I know this story because of last night, but I want to hear from you, and I know our listeners want to hear the point you were at when you met her.
Yeah.
Because I know you were at, let's not call it rock bottom, but you were done.
Yeah.
You were like, I don't want to wake up. I really don't care if I wake up. And then you found her. Talk about
Yeah.
how you met her and where you were at.
So I flew into Los Angeles. I checked into the Sunset Marquee. I was having an ongoing 2-year custody battle. I basically just got out of the longest Guinness Book of World Records of Florida Shuffle. If you don't know what that means, it means that if the interventionist knows that you have good insurance, they'll find reasons to keep you there for eternity. So I would make it 88 days because if you get Baker acted, it's a 90-day thing. So I would make it 88 days. I'm like, I'm getting out in 2 days. He would make up any reason. He'd be, you've been wearing that same jacket for like 3 days now. I'm like, yeah, I'm not trying to get a pussy around here. I don't care. That's bad hygiene. You're doing another 90 days. Do another 88 days. Flick a cigarette out into a bush, and they filmed it smoking like any cigarette would. And he's like, you could lit this whole national forest on fire. You're doing another 90 days. So they kept me there for 2.5 years, $660,000, $1,300 a piece. And all the pills that they gave me were side effects of weight gain, stiff muscles, erectile dysfunction, hair loss, all this stuff. So I was very depressed. And I had 4 different lawsuits, one with Jackass, which we could talk about later, another one with a custody battle issue, another one with, Nikki thinking that we're married, but you have to be a resident of Iceland. We never signed any paperwork. Another one with some idiot doing a drunken wheelie at my house. He got in trespassing, don't even know the guy, but I was at a Post Malone concert, and because he broke his foot, he wants to own the house. So I'm having like 50 grand a month on lawsuits. And not to mention, I just put $1 million for treatment, and every day I'm not looking forward to because it's ring, ring, ring. What bad news is it? Oh,
Right.
I'm like, I am checking into the Sunset Marquee to check out.